everyone, America from Bravo Migration. New year, new life. It's 2020 already, and as usual, we have been bombarded with questions about how to start a new life in Australia. Last year, in 2019, we saw a number of changes in migration rules and regulations, and we have a video explaining each of these changes in detail in our YouTube channel. So we recommend you watch this carefully to understand each and every change. Regardless, let's have a quick recap of the most important changes that happened in 2019. There were two new regional visas introduced, one replacing the RSMS 187 and one replacing the regional subclass 489 visa. These visas, now the new ones, are the 491 with nomination by a regional area or state and the 494 with sponsorship by a regional employer. Regional areas have also changed, and they have been extended to include now the Gold Coast, Perth, Newcastle and Wollongong. So the whole country really now is a regional area for visa purposes, with the exception of Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. There were changes as well in the points test system. It has been revised, and some of these changes now mean that people get more points for state nominations as well as for skilled partners. Now, what most people have been contacting us about is what can we expect in the Australian migration sphere for the year 2020? One, we believe that regional migration will be very strong. The whole country, as I just mentioned, is now considered a regional area for migration purposes, apart from Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. And this is because these are the three most populated cities in Australia. And the current government is really encouraging international students and migrants to move out of those areas and settle in regional areas. The inclusion of the Gold Coast, Perth, Newcastle and Wollongong to regional areas, which are still major cities of Australia, is proof of what the government is trying to do. The advantages of going to a regional area are many. One, international students who study in regional areas for a minimum of 2 years may be able to claim 5 extra points when applying for a points-tested visa, such as the 189, the 190 or the 491. Some regional areas, like South Australia, offer longer graduate visas as well to students who graduate there. Now, most regional areas also offer pathways to the subclass 491 skilled work regional provisional visa, one of the new ones. But it has to be after skilled professionals spend some time studying and or working in regional areas. This can be any time from 3 months to 2 years, depending on the region and the profession of the person. Now, we also have the new employer-sponsored 494 visa, which is an option for people who have a job offer in a regional area in their careers. And this visa is not available if you are in Sydney, Brisbane or Melbourne. So another advantage is to be in a regional area where you could get a job offer and apply for this visa. The 491 and the 494 visas will take you to permanent visa, even if your occupation is not in demand. So this is super important to remember. They are temporary visas, but they will lead into a permanent visa down the road. Another thing is that some regional areas have special agreements with immigration, and these agreements are called DAMAs. We have talked about them many times before in videos and posts, but they're mainly agreements where employers can sponsor people in special circumstances, even in occupations that don't normally get sponsored, such as barista, waiters, drivers, and these visas lead to permanent residence later, especially for people who are over 45 years of age. This is a great advantage for them. The current agreements, the DAMAs we have at the moment are with the Northern Territory, South Australia, Far North Queensland, the South Coast of Victoria and the Orana region in New South Wales. For 2020, we predict that more DAMAs will be signed. Speak to us if you want to create a study plan to study in a regional area and obtain a further visa at the end. Okay, very important. Number 2 of the important things today, there will be movement in the skilled occupation lists. Every year, the government starts a review of the occupation list, and they have flagged some occupations that can be affected in March 2020, when the review will be completed. 4 new occupations that may be added to the short-term occupation list are corporate treasurer, aged or disabled carer, very important, nursing support worker, and personal care assistant, showing the department's preoccupation with helping aged and disabled people. Now, the occupations of sales and marketing manager and IT project manager may be moved from the short-term to the long-term or high-demand lists. So good news there. Now, not so good news, 11 occupations may be removed from the short-term list, which also means they may be moved out of the migration program completely. They are hairdresser, massage therapist, gardener, gymnastics coach, and diving instructor, plus community worker. But remember, that's a maybe, it's not for sure. We still hope to see changes in relation to the partner visa implemented this year. The legislation that would affect partner visas was approved in 2018, but so far none of them have been implemented. They would mean that people can only apply for a partner visa after their sponsor's application has been approved. We don't know how long that would take, and the partner visa is the visa that takes the longest to be approved at the moment, 2 years. So this could complicate situations for people whose visas are about to expire. So be careful there. What we say to you is that if you are planning to apply for a partner visa, you are better off doing this sooner rather than later. Talk to us if you would like to check if you are eligible for a partner visa and the best time to do so. We offer free assessments for people on relationships looking at partner visas. I hope this video has been helpful and not very long. Sorry, a lot of information, but we hope we can change your life in 2020. Come to Australia if you are not here yet, or make sure you have a solid strategy if you are here already and want to stay longer. We want to be right with you in your journey, hand in hand, whatever your way takes you. Thanks for watching and happy 2020.